Imagine holding in your hands a perfectly carved human skull, not made of bone, but of pure crystal. Smooth, flawless, shining with an otherworldly glow as light bends and dances inside it. Now imagine being told that this object, weighing several kilograms, was carved centuries or even thousands of years ago without the use of modern tools, without lasers, without diamond-tipped drills. That is the mystery of the crystal skulls. Some believe they are keys to ancient wisdom, others say they are warnings from long-lost civilizations, and a few even whisper that they are not of this world at all. Tonight, we dive into one of history's most unsettling and puzzling mysteries: the strange case of the crystal skulls. The story begins in the 19th century, when explorers, adventurers, and treasure hunters roamed the ruins of Central America. Among tales of gold and ancient manuscripts, there emerged rumors of strange artifacts, crystal skulls, hidden deep within temples and caves. These skulls seemed to radiate mystery, their smooth surfaces and lifelike proportions baffling even the most skilled craftsmen. How could the ancient Maya or the Aztecs have possibly created such masterpieces without advanced technology? Were they symbols of power, sacred objects for rituals, or something even more bizarre? The most famous of these artifacts is the Mitchell-Hedges Skull, discovered, or at least claimed to be discovered in the 1920s, by Anna Mitchell-Hedges while exploring the ruins of Lebonton in Belize with her adoptive father, an adventurer and writer. She said she found it buried beneath a collapsed altar, glittering in the soil like a forgotten relic of gods. The skull was unlike anything seen before. Life-sized, anatomically perfect, carved from a single block of clear quartz crystal, with a detachable jawbone that moved with eerie precision. Scientists examined it under microscopes and found no marks of carving tools, no evidence of how it had been shaped. It seemed impossible, as if it had simply appeared out of thin air. But was it truly an ancient treasure, or was the story too good to be true? Skeptics began to raise questions. Some believed that Anna's father, Frederick Mitchell-Hedges, had invented the dramatic tale to boost his reputation. In fact, records show that he later purchased a crystal skull at an auction in London, raising doubts about whether the Belize discovery ever really happened. But believers argue that even if the story was embellished, the skull itself remains extraordinary, defying explanation. And the Mitchell-Hedges skull is not alone. Over a dozen similar crystal skulls have appeared across the world in collections, museums, and private hands. The British Museum holds one, the Duke Branly in Paris holds another. Each is carved from quartz, each with mysterious origins, and none with a clear explanation of how, when, or why they were made. Quartz is one of the hardest materials on Earth. Even with modern tools, carving such complex shapes is a slow and delicate process. A single mistake could crack the crystal, ruining months of work. For ancient civilizations without metal tools, the task would have been unthinkable. Yet here, these skulls are, silent and perfect, mocking our understanding of history. Some researchers have even suggested that they must have been carved using techniques unknown to us today, possibly by a lost civilization with technology far beyond what we imagine. Could they be remnants of Atlantis, or evidence that humans once walked side by side with beings from the stars? The legend around the skulls only deepens when we hear whispers of their supposed powers. Some say they can heal the sick. Others claim they can store information like a computer made of crystal, holding the secrets of the universe within their shimmering depths. There are stories of people who gazed into them and saw visions, glimpses of the future, or memories of ancient times. Shamans have used them in ceremonies, believing they connect this world with the spirit realm. And then, of course, there is the most enduring myth that when 13 crystal skulls are brought together, they will reveal the secrets of humanity's past and future, unlocking knowledge that could save or destroy our world. But is any of this true? When scientists in the late 20th century examined several skulls with electron microscopes, they found markings that looked suspiciously modern, like those made by metal tools or even rotary wheels. Some concluded that most of the skulls were probably created in Europe during the 19th century, when fascination with ancient civilizations was at its peak and demand for exotic artifacts was high. In other words, some skulls could simply be clever fakes carved to deceive collectors. Yet, even here, mysteries remain, because a few skulls, especially the Mitchell-Hedges Skull, show no tool marks at all. Their origin remains locked away, refusing to reveal the truth. And so, we are left with two possibilities. Either the skulls are elaborate hoaxes, created by skilled artisans in more recent centuries, or they are authentic relics of a forgotten age, proof that ancient civilizations had knowledge and abilities far greater than we ever imagined. Which one is more unsettling, that we have been deceived for generations, or that human history is far stranger than we dare believe? Before we continue, let me ask you something. What do you think? Are the crystal skulls genuine relics of an ancient past, or are they clever modern fabrications meant to spark wonder and profit? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I would love to hear your theories. And if you are enjoying this journey into the strange and the unknown, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Mysteries of Time, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our next deep dive into the secrets of history. Your support keeps these stories alive. Now, back to the mystery. Imagine the skulls not as mere artifacts, but as messages, time capsules carved in stone. If they were created by a lost civilization, perhaps they were meant to endure long after their makers vanished, carrying knowledge across centuries. After all, quartz is nearly indestructible. Unlike paper, unlike wood, unlike metal, it does not decay. A skull carved from crystal could last for millennia, silently waiting to be found. Could the skulls be warnings from the Maya about cataclysmic cycles of time? Could they be a record from the Atlanteans of their fall? Or could they be something even stranger, gifts left behind by visitors from beyond the earth, meant to guide us in times of crisis? Strangely, many who have encountered the skulls speak of unusual sensations tingling in the hands, sudden waves of emotion, or even hearing whispers in the mind. Are these just tricks of psychology, the power of suggestion? Or could quartz, a material used today in electronics to store and regulate energy, actually hold some kind of resonance, some forgotten potential that ancient peoples understood? Science tells us quartz oscillates with perfect frequency. Watches, radios, computers, many depend on it. If our modern technology relies on it, perhaps the ancients too recognized its power but used it in ways we can no longer comprehend. The skulls linger between myth and science, faith and fraud. Museums hesitate to display them, fearful of controversy. Collectors guard them jealously. Researchers argue endlessly, but the skulls themselves remain silent. And maybe that silence is the most powerful part of the mystery. Because whether they are genuine or fake, ancient or modern, they captivate us. They awaken something deep within us, a yearning to know who we are, where we came from, and what secrets the past may still hold. As you think about the crystal skulls, imagine for a moment that the legend is true. 13 skulls gathered together, a great revelation. A message meant for us, waiting across the centuries. What would it say? Would it warn us of our own destruction? Would it reveal hidden truths about our origin? Or would it remain silent, leaving us with nothing but questions? Perhaps the real power of the crystal skulls is not in answers, but in the questions they force us to ask. The strange case of the crystal skulls is a reminder that history is not always as straightforward as we think. Between the shadows of myth and the light of science lies a realm of mystery, a realm that keeps us searching, keeps us questioning, keeps us awake at night, wondering what else lies buried beneath the sands of time. And if the crystal skulls teach us anything, it is this, that sometimes the greatest mysteries are not meant to be solved, but to remind us that the unknown is always closer than we think. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the enigma of the crystal skulls. If this mystery left you intrigued, then you will want to explore our other stories, like The Secrets of the Dead Sea Scrolls or The Hidden History of Atlantis. Each one peels back another layer of time, another glimpse into the shadows of history. Until then, keep your mind open, your curiosity alive, and remember, the past is never truly gone. It waits in silence for those willing to seek it.